Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. In this video, we will be covering some important topics and questions related to those topics of the DP-900 exam. You can get the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. We have more than 30 plus certifications and are here to help you achieve your certification goals. We will try to answer all of your doubts related to the DP-900 exam, such as the exam does not have lab or hands-on type questions. It does not have any case study type questions. The exam duration is around 120 minutes in which you have to cover 40 to 60 questions. The minimum passing score is 700 out of 1000. There is no negative marking in the exam. This certification will be valid for a lifetime after you earn it. About the renewal process, it is not required. It is not required. This is a tutorial video of DP-900 exam and the first part in our series. We will be covering the following topics in this video. However, these are not all of the topics in the exam. As such, we will be publishing more parts in this series in the future, covering more topics. So please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. To our first topic, types of cloud services. Here we have a diagram explaining to us the cloud computing stack. It is basically used to describe how different cloud services stack on top of each other. At the first stage, we have IaaS that covers servers, networking firewalls, and data centers. That is our basic infrastructure. Then, moving to the next step, we have PaaS that covers everything that comes under IaaS and also provides operating systems and development tools, database management, and business analytics. Then, going one step further, we have SaaS that covers everything in the PaaS and IaaS service model, but also provides hosted applications. To a more simple question now, what is cloud computing? Simply put, it is the delivery of computing services including servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resources, and economics of scale. You typically pay only for cloud services you use, helping you lower your operating costs, run your infrastructure more efficiently, and scale as your business needs change. Most cloud computing services fall into four broad categories: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, serverless, and software as a service. These are sometimes called the cloud computing stack because they build on top of one another. Knowing what they are and how they are different makes it easier to accomplish your business goals. About infrastructure as a service, it is the most basic category of cloud computing services. With IaaS, you rent IT infrastructure, servers and virtual machines, storage, networks, operating systems from a cloud provider on a pay as you go basis. Migrating your organization's infrastructure to an IaaS solution helps you reduce maintenance of on premises data centers, save money on hardware costs, and gain real-time business insights. IaaS solutions give you the flexibility to scale your IT resources up and down with demand. They also help you quickly provision new applications and increase the reliability of your underlying infrastructure. IaaS lets you bypass the cost and complexity of buying and managing physical servers and data center infrastructure. Each resource is offered as a separate service component, and you only pay for a particular resource for as long as you need it. About platform as a service, it refers to cloud computing services that supply an on demand environment for developing, testing, delivering, and managing software application. It is designed to make it easier for developers to quickly create web or mobile apps without worrying about setting up or managing the underlying infrastructure of servers, storage, network, and databases needed for development. Like IaaS, PaaS includes infrastructure but also middleware, development tools, business intelligence services, database management systems, and more. PaaS is designed to support the complete web application lifecycle, that is, building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating. It allows you to avoid the expense and complexity of buying and managing software licenses, the underlying application infrastructure, and middleware, container orchestrators such as Kubernetes, or the development tools and other resources. You manage the applications and services you develop, and the cloud service provider typically manages everything else. About software as a service, it allows users to connect to and use cloud based apps over the internet. Common examples are email, calendaring, and office tools. SaaS provides a complete software solution that you purchase on a pay as you go basis from a cloud service provider. You rent the use of an app for your organization, and your users connect to it over the internet, usually with a web browser. All of the underlying infrastructure, middleware, app software, and app data are located in the service provider's data center. The service provider manages the hardware and software, and with the appropriate service agreement, will ensure the availability and the security of the app and your data as well. SaaS allows your organization to get quickly up and running with an app at minimal upfront cost. About serverless computing enables developers to build applications faster by eliminating the need for them to manage infrastructure. With serverless applications, the cloud service provider automatically provisions, scales, and manages the infrastructure required to run the code. In understanding the definition of serverless computing, it is important to note that servers are still running the code. The serverless name comes from the fact that the tasks associated with infrastructure provisioning and management are invisible to the developer. This approach enables developers to increase their focus on the business logic and deliver more value to the core of the business. Serverless computing helps team increase their productivity and bring products to market faster. And it allows organizations to better optimize resources and stay focused on innovation. To the questions related to this topic, question 1. What are two benefits of platform as a service relational database offerings in Azure, such as Azure SQL database? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Here in this question, we need to tell, here in this question, we need to tell two benefits about platform as a services relational database offerings. The two benefits are access to the latest features and reduced administrative effort for managing the server infrastructure. Thus, the correct options are A and D. About the options, A. Azure SQL Database is a fully managed platform as a service database engine that handles most of the database management functions such as upgrading, patching, backups, and monitoring without user involvement. About D, SQL database delivers predictable performance with multiple resource types, service tiers, and compute sizes. It provides dynamic scalability with no downtime, built-in intelligent optimization, global scalability and availability, and advanced security options. These capabilities allow you to focus on rapid app development and accelerating your time to market rather than on managing virtual machines and infrastructure. Question 2. Hotspot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise, select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, statement. If you have a platform as a service database in Azure, you are responsible for applying operating system updates. The answer to that is no. It is the developer's responsibility to apply operating system updates. To the next statement, if you have a platform as a service database in Azure, backups are performed automatically. The correct option is yes. To the next statement, if you have a platform as a service database in Azure, you are responsible for installation of the database engine. The correct answer is no. That is the service provider's responsibility. About the options, box 1, Microsoft handles all patching and updating of the SQL and operating system code. You don't have to manage the underlying infrastructure. About box 2, SQL database is a fully managed service that has built-in high availability, backups, and other common maintenance operations. To the next question, question 3, hotspot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, statement. Platform as a service database offerings in Azure require less setup and configuration effort than infrastructure as a service database offerings. The correct option here is yes. To the next statement, platform as a service database offerings in Azure provide end users with the ability to control and update the operating system version. The correct answer is no. That is the service provider's responsibility. To the next statement, all relation and non-relational platform as a service database offerings in Azure can be paused to reduce costs. The correct option is no. About the options, box 1. Like IaaS, PaaS includes infrastructure but also middleware, development tools, BI services, database management systems, and more. PaaS is designed to support the complete web application lifecycle, that is, building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating. It allows you to avoid the expense and complexity of buying and managing software licenses and underlying application infrastructure and middleware, container orchestrators such as Kubernetes, or the development tools and other resources. Box 2, you manage the application and services you develop, and the cloud service provider typically manages everything else. Box 3, there really is no way to pause or stop billing for your Azure SQL database. Microsoft's official answer is yes, you can export your database, delete the Azure SQL database, and that will pause billing. Then, when you need it, you can create a new database and import your previously exported database. Question 4, Hotspot. You plan to deploy a PostgreSQL database to Azure. Which hosting model corresponds to the available deployment options? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, PostgreSQL on Azure virtual machines. Here, the correct option is infrastructure as a service. To the next statement, Azure database for PostgreSQL. Here, the correct option is platform as a service. Question said virtual machine, hence infrastructure as a service. So, infrastructure as a service and platform as a service is correct. Question 5. Which type of database is Azure database for PostgreSQL? Here we have to tell the type of database, that is Azure database for PostgreSQL. If you are paying attention, you will know that the correct answer is platform as a service. Thus, the correct option is A. To the next topic, ETL and ELT. First is extract, transform, and load. It is a data pipeline used to collect data from various sources. It then transforms the data according to business rules, and it loads the data into a destination data store. The transformation work in ETL takes place in a specialized engine, and it often involves using staging tables to temporarily hold data as it is being transformed and ultimately loaded to its destination. You can see from the following diagram, the data is first extracted from different sources. Then it goes through the transformation engine, and then it is loaded in the target database. The data transformation that takes place usually involves various operations such as filtering, sorting, aggregating, joining data, cleaning data, deduplicating, and validating data. Often, the three ETL phases are run in parallel to save time. For example, while data is being extracted, a transformation process could be working on data already received and prepare it for loading. And a loading process can begin working on the prepared data rather than waiting for the entire extraction process to complete. About extract, load, and transform, it differs from ETL solely in where the transformation takes place. In the ELT pipeline, the transformation occurs in the target data store. Instead of using a separate transformation engine, the processing capabilities of the target data store are used to transform data. This simplifies the architecture, by removing the transformation engine from the pipeline. Another benefit to this approach is that scaling the target data store also scales the ELT pipeline performance. However, ELT only works well when the target system is powerful enough to transform the data efficiently. The key point with ELT is that the data store used to perform the transformation is the same data store where the data is ultimately consumed. Through this diagram, you can see that data is extracted from different sources first, and then it is sent to the target data store where transformation and loading both take place together. To the questions related to the same topic, question 6, hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. To the answer area, an extract, transform, and load process requires. Here, the correct option is data that is fully processed before being loaded to the target data store. ETL is a data pipeline used to collect data from various sources, transform the data according to business rules, and load it into a destination data store. Question 7, drag drop. Your company plans to load data from a customer relationship management system to a data warehouse by using an extract, load, and transform process. Where does data processing occur for each stage of the ELT process? To answer, drag the appropriate location to the correct stages. Each location may be used once, more than once, or not at all. You may need to drag the split bar between panes or scroll to view content. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. The locations provided to us are an in-memory data integration tool, the CRM system, the data warehouse. To the answer area, extract. We are extracting our data from the CRM system. Thus, the correct option is the CRM system. Next, to the next statement, load. The correct option is the data warehouse. To the next statement, transform. Here, as we are using a ELT process, the transformation will occur in the same target data store as where the loading occurs. Thus, the correct option is the data warehouse. For ELT, the correct answer is CRM, DWH, DWH. Box 1, data is extracted from the CRM system. Box 2, data is loaded to the data warehouse. Box 3, ELT differs from ETL solely in where the transformation takes place. In the ELT pipeline, the transformation occurs in the target data store instead of using a separate transformation engine. The processing capabilities of the target data store are used to transform data. Question 8, hotspot. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true, otherwise, select no. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. To the answer area, statement. ETL can reduce the transfer of sensitive data to destination systems. Here, the correct option is yes. To the next statement, ELT transforms data by using a compute resource independent of the source system and destination system. The correct option here is no, as in ELT, the transformation takes place in the target data store. To the next statement, ELT minimizes the time it takes to copy large volumes of data to destination systems. Here, the correct option is yes. Sentence 1 is yes. You can reduce transfer of sensitive data with transformations on a data source. Sentence 2 is no. ELT use the compute resource from destination system. For last, yes. ELT minimizes time as transformations are going to be realized on target data destination systems. To the next topic, different type of analytics. Here it is a simple diagram showing four main different types of analytics. First is descriptive, that tells us what is happening. Second is diagnostic, that tells us why is happening. Then we have predictive, that tells us what will happen. And in the end, we have prescriptive, that tells us what actions should we take. About descriptive analytics, this is simplest stage of analytics, and for this reason, most organizations today use some type of descriptive analytics. The easiest way to define it is the process of gathering and interpreting data to describe what has occurred. Descriptive analytics takes the raw data and through data aggregation or data mining provides valuable insights into the past. However, these findings simply signal that something is wrong or right without explaining why. For this reason, more mature demand planning functions do not content themselves with descriptive analytics only and prefer to combine it with other types of data analytics. Then we have diagnostic analytics. At this stage, you can begin to answer some of those why questions. Historical data can begin to be measured against other data to answer the question of why something happened in the past. This is the process of gathering and interpreting different data sets to identify anomalies, detect patterns, and determine relationships. Some approaches that use diagnostic analytics include alerts, drill down, data discovery, data mining, and correlations. This can include some traditional forecasting techniques that uses ratios, likelihoods, and the distribution of outcomes for the analysis. Supervised machine learning training algorithms for classification and regression also fall in this type of analytics. Then we have predictive analytics. Broadly speaking, it is a category of BI that uses descriptive and predictive variables from the past to analyze and identify the likelihood of an unknown future outcome. It brings together a number of data mining methodologies, forecasting methods, predictive models, and analytical techniques to analyze current data, assess risk and opportunities, and capture relationships and make predictions about the future. At this stage, you are no longer just asking what happened, but why it happened and what could happen in the future. By successfully applying many traditional forecasting techniques to more advanced machine learning predictive algorithms, businesses can effectively interpret big data to gain huge competitive advantages. At last, we have prescriptive analytics. It is the next step in the progression of analytics where we take the data we gathered in the descriptive stage that told us what happened, combine it with the diagnostic analytics that told us why it happened, and combine those with the predictive analytics that told us why it may occur again. The result is prescriptive analytics that will highlight what you can now make happen. Prescriptive analytics is a combination of data, mathematical models, and various business rules to infer actions to influence future desired outcomes. Some refer to this as demand shaping, but it can also include simulation, probability maximization, and optimization. Descriptive analytics are comparatively complex in nature, and many companies are not yet using them in day to day business activities. Admittedly, to consistently operate at this level of maturity, this requires new people, process, and technology, and an analytics driven culture for the entire organization. To the questions related to these topics, question 9, hotspot. Complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. To the answer area, a visualization that illustrates a university's current student enrollment per department is an example of cache analytics. Here, the correct option is descriptive. Generally speaking, data analytics comes in four types: descriptive, to answer what is happening; diagnostic, to answer why is happening; predictive, to answer what will happen; and prescriptive, to answer what actions should we take. As such, the most appropriate option here is as such the most appropriate option here was descriptive. Question 10. Your company recently reported sales from the third quarter. You have the chart shown in the following exhibit. Which type of analysis is shown in the fourth quarter? Here in this question, we are asked to tell which type of analysis is shown in the fourth quarter. That is yet to come. As such, the type of analysis is predictive. Thus, the correct option is A, predictive, to answer the question, what will happen? Question 11, drag drop. Match the types of analytics that can be used to answer the business questions. To answer, drag the appropriate analytics type from the column on the left to its question on the right. Each analytics type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Note, each correct match is worth 1 point. The analytics types that are provided to us are cognitive, diagnostic, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. To the answer area, why did sales increase last month? Here, we are trying to answer the why, so the correct option is diagnostic. To the next statement, how do I allocate my budget to buy different inventory items? Here, we are trying to answer the question of what we can do. As such, the correct option is prescriptive. To the next statement, which people are mentioned in a company's business document. Here, we are trying to answer the question of what, which, and who. As such, the correct option is descriptive. About the options, box 1, diagnostic. At this stage, you can begin to answer some of those why questions. Historical data can begin to be measured against other data to answer the question of why something happened in the past. This is the process of gathering and interpreting different data sets to identify anomalies, detect patterns, and determine relationships. Box 2, prescriptive. Prescriptive analytics is a combination of data, mathematical models, and various business rules to infer actions to influence future desired outcomes. Question 12. Bar chart showing year to date sales by region is an example of which type of analytics? Here, as the bar chart is showing us details about the year to date sales by region, the correct option is descriptive. Thus, the correct option is C. These were all the questions for this video. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. We will be publishing more important topics in the next parts of this series, so please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.